What does it mean to get the backstory? It means asking the hard questions and getting to the heart of what matters about your mental, spiritual, financial, and physical well being. In my quest to find wholeness, wellness, and end the 40 years of obesity that ravaged my body, I found that it was my own stories that were keeping me trapped in processed food addiction. Once I started asking the right questions, those same stories led to brand new consciousness, mindfulness, and agency. Each month on Get the Backstory Live, we take on the tough questions so you can find the healing, hope, and transformation hidden in your story.
Well, hello and welcome to Get the Backstory Live. It is so good to have you join me tonight on the show. And tonight is going to be a very special show. Not that they all aren't, but this one is going to be extra special because we're kicking off 2024. We're kicking off a brand new year. And we're coming back tonight with a very popular topic. We did the same show last year at the beginning of 2023, and we got so much good response for it that it just made sense to bring it back, right? And it made sense to bring back our same guests, which I'll be introducing to you very shortly. But tonight we are going to be talking about vision boarding. There's a lot of people that are doing it. There's a lot of conversation about it. And tonight we're going to unpack, what a vision board is, why it's important, how vision boards can be so useful in helping you achieve your goals and helping you achieve your goals more easily, because that's what we do on Get the Backstory. We have positive conversations that help us move our lives forward, right? Not just about weight, right? That's important. That's what my story is. But once we get a vision, right? Once we get some clarity around that vision, once we start working the plan, then all the pieces, and we're going to talk about pulling the pieces together. All the pieces start to come together, and I will share with you that the reality is that there was no way that after 40 years of struggling with food addiction, struggling with obesity, struggling with yo-yo dieting, that I would have been able to lose the weight and finally keep it off without some vision boarding, And I want to bring on our guest tonight. Our guest is one of my favorite people. Please welcome my friend, right, Envision Board goddess, Glenna Cush. I'm going to do a short introduction. I'm going to do a short introduction of her, and then I'm going to let Glenna tell you all about herself and how she came to be on the show tonight. But I want to talk about two things about Glenna, other than the fact that she's my girl. She's the director of marketing for the Maryland Small Business Development Center. And for all of you all who may be listening that are small business owners, you know what a wonderful resource this is, right? So tap into her knowledge. And if you're looking to be a business owner, right, start your own business, this is definitely an organization that you want to reach out to, because quite frankly your taxpayer dollars are paying for it, so put your taxpayer dollars to work. The other thing that you need to know about Glenna is that not only does she work for this organization, but she is a woman that is actually doing the work, right? She's just not talking about being a small business owner. She is a small business owner. So she is not just talking the talk, but she's also walking the walk as an owner of Shimmy Sister, right? Shimmy Sister, a boutique in Columbia, Maryland, which services women at all phases of their beauty. So, Glenna, come on here, girl. Let's get to talking about
Let's
our
get this
vision
party
board.
started
This
right.
party starting, right?
Party
Right.
started quickly. I am so delighted to be here this evening, and I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for the invitation. I love doing these kinds of things. I love talking to people. I love being a part of a conversation because I think that there's healing in conversations and there's the opportunity to learn something new, do something different, and maybe make a change that's so necessary. So I'm just delighted to be here.
Oh, happy to have you in the room. Happy to have you in this space as always. And I also just want to encourage anybody that is watching is that throughout the course of this conversation, if a thought comes up for you, if a thought bubbles up for you, put it in the chat for us so we can share it. If a question comes up for you, put it in the chat for us, all right, so
Yeah.
that we can, so this can be interactive, and we're just not two talking heads, we're not just two talking heads up here, although Glenna, I know that you have some props, so
Maybe one or two. Maybe one or two the way it goes. But
so I also want to say that if you're watching this, right, and you're getting some juicy information, some juicy tidbits, some stuff to help move you forward, share it, right? Share it. You text your friends about everything else, right? Text them about this. Text them about getting right for 2024, and
right.
they can access the show on YouTube or online or at the source, right? Source TV and radio.com. So, and if you're already here, then you already know that. But for the people that you're reaching out to, we want to make sure that you can share that with them. So before we get started, I want to, we hear this phrase term vision board being tossed around so much, and
Mhm.
I want to share with you, Glenna, a a definition or a description that I found of vision board, and read it and kind of,
Let's unpack it a little bit.
yeah,
Yes.
let's
Before you get
unpack it.
unpack
Yeah, give me some feedback on that. Right,
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Here we go. Uh, First of all, it is a goal achieving tool. Not goal setting, but goal achieving tool. A vision board is a series of images and words arranged on the board. They can represent a person's aspirations. Some people might display their vision board in their office or home to inspire them as they work. Depending on the interest and skill, a vision board might be a simple collection of images or a more elaborate art project.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's what it says. And it also says, although vision boarding is a commonly used tool, there is not a lot of research on its effectiveness. Initial research suggests it can help us more easily reach our goals.
Hmm.
This may be due to how vision boards help us gain self awareness and self reflection on what is important to us.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
I
we'll,
mean,
we'll just start. We'll start there.
we'll start there. That's a nice description, but I like to think of a vision board as an anchor. Something that sort of holds things down, holds everything together. We have these thoughts floating around in our heads all the time. One of these days, one of these days, wouldn't it be great too? But a vision board is a way to organize those things and help you to focus more clearly on those things to achieve those things. Several years ago, I came across a book that said it's entitled As You Think, right? And the premise of that is as you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
And if you come from a biblical background, it's a text in the scripture that says, "As a man thinketh, so is he."
Mm-hmm.
So our thoughts drive the things that we do. We hear people all the time saying, "Oh, I could never, I could never." Well, guess what? You
Mm-hmm. You
won't.
won't ever. You won't ever.
You never will.
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate enough to be raised, but by my father would say all the time. I would say, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool if you could do so and so?" And he was like, "Well, why can't you do that? Why can't you do that?
Mm-hmm.
You're just as good as anybody else. You can do anything that you want to do." And every people are not necessarily as fortunate to have had that experience as I did, to have a supportive parent to say, "Yeah, push you on." So a vision board is a way for you to, identify the things that you want and start consciously focusing on those things and
Mm-hmm.
consciously bringing them about. Because as
Mm-hmm.
you think,
Mm-hmm.
We live in a world of energy,
Yes.
metaphysics, physical energy, and stuff like that. And by thinking on a certain path, you change the energy that you put out
Mm-hmm.
and what is drawn to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I
Mm.
know you've experienced that. You and I've talked about that too, just as far as the energy. You know how sometimes, look, we sister girls, right?
Yeah.
We don't sometimes don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you walk in the room and be like, that energy was bad. I don't,
Right, right,
you know what I
right,
mean? It's
right.
like you
Yes,
don't know
yes.
what's going on, but you know
Well,
something is off.
you know.
You know something is off. And that is the power that we have within us, right? That's the same energy I'm talking about. That sort of internal mechanism that lets you know something is just not quite right. You can
Mm-hmm.
meet somebody and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, out there's, some people say, oh, their spirit was bad. You know, or you know what I'm saying? People call it different things,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just channeling into that and directing it in a way that is positive and helps you
Yes.
achieve the things that you want to
Yes.
achieve.
Yes.
Because what you think about, you bring about.
Ooh, ooh.
What you
Okay,
think
write
about,
that down. What you think about, you
what you
bring
think about,
about.
you bring about.
What you think,
Yep,
and here is the other piece of that. What you think about, you bring about, is that we can control what we think about.
absolutely,
We can
absolutely.
control it. We do control it. And
Yeah.
I will tell you one of the things that I love about the vision board process is that in as much as that we are beings and we are energy, right? We are visual people.
Absolutely.
We are visual people,
Hmm.
and the vision board is a way to capture the vision. It doesn't
Hmm.
necessarily mean that your vision has to be on the board, but it does mean that you have to have a vision. You've got to be able to see the thing that you want to have,
Right.
do, right?
So
And
that you can
so
focus
that
on it. And it's about having the intention,
it,
having
yes,
intentionality
yes,
behind that thing.
yes.
Not just, oh, that's a cute picture. And the pictures that you pick don't have to be specific, like that exact car,
Mm-hmm,
or that exact. If
mm-hmm,
you can find a picture that's exactly the car you want, great.
mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can't, but if what you want is a convertible, for example, I told the story last time of how I wanted a convertible Beetle when I was in college. I had a beat up old little bug that I drove around, and it was a stick shift. And if anybody knows anything about those old Volkswagens, it would stall out. You have to get it to a hill. You roll it down that hill. You pop that clutch. You
Yeah,
pop that clutch, and it starts rolling back again. I
right.
had one of those old timey Volkswagens, and I loved it. But then you get a little older, and you want a more mature car. You like want a grown up car, so you go. But then I said, I think I want a little Volkswagen Bug with a convertible, so I could put the top down and just tool around. And that's what I put on my board. I found one that looked like the one that I wanted, and I stuck it on that board. And the way that it came about was so unreal that it baffled my mind at the time.
Mm-hmm,
I didn't know when it was going to happen, how it was going to happen. But all of a sudden, one day, my car that I was driving went on the fritz. It was this old little clunker. And I said, let me just start looking around. So I started going online, and I said, oh, look at this little cute bug. It was a convertible. It was silver. And it was in a neighboring town. It wasn't even in, my area. So I made the phone call anyway. And the guy said, oh, what's really weird? We just transferred that car. We transferred that car, and it was like on my way home.
oh wow.
It was at the dealership that was on my way home.
Mhm,
I walked in there, and it was the fastest I had ever gotten a car in my life. I mean, it just happened so quick.
mhm,
So that's when and that's when I knew I was intentional about it. I looked at that thing. I imagined myself driving it. I imagined the top being down, the wind in my hair, the sun on my face, all of that stuff.
mhm,
And as you continue to do that, the universe rallies around you. It rallies around you, and things start to take place. And I know you've experienced it too, Michelle,
mhm,
in a
mhm.
way that you're like, what? You, huh?
Right, right. What happened?
Right, right.
And you talk about I experienced it. I mean, I'm experiencing it now.
Yes. Yep.
And I feel myself going back to the vision board conversation that we had last year, just a mere 12 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I had on my vision board was that I wanted to really step into a speaking career, a public speaking career to help, push out the book and push out my workshops and push out my coaching business. And I felt like, speaking would be a great platform to do it. And I wanted to be intentional about that. Well, that was 12 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in November, I delivered a TED Talk.
Yes, you did, girl.
I delivered a TED Talk.
Yeah.
Now, for anybody that doesn't know what a TED Talk is, just Google it.
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but what I want to say is about how once you set your intention, how the universe comes to rally around you, just like you said, to bring things into your life that you would have never brought into, that you wouldn't even, I wouldn't even make it happen yourself. It never even entered my mind when I said I wanted to be a speaker that a TED Talk would be something that would be on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Just it didn't even occur to me. But a couple of, and this is like, the pieces coming together.
Yeah.
It didn't occur to me, but it had occurred to other people.
Other people.
It
Yeah.
had occurred to other people. And then they started in my conversations is talking about my work, talking about my transformation, talking about um, my unique set of beliefs and approach
Mm-hmm.
to belief system around what we eat and why we eat it. People would say, "Oh, you should do a TED Talk. You should I mean, because that's their tagline. Ideas worth sharing." And
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
presenting a different idea, and I signed up for something that completely different to be a member of this organization, the Wellness Tourism Association, because I felt like that I could do some work in that space.
Mm-hmm.
Someone in that Wellness Tourism Association saw my profile and reached out. Right?
Wow.
She reached out. We had a conversation. It was just like a connect call. And as we were talking, she said, "Oh, you should do a TED Talk." And I said, "Oh,
Thanks.
recently I've had somebody say that to me." And she said, "Well, I'm doing one." And I still didn't get that I should do one, even though she said,
Right. Yeah.
but she said, "I'm doing one." It was like in March. And I said, "Oh, well, where?" And she said, "Oh, it's in Delaware." And I said, "Okay, well, I'll come support you." Right. I'll
Yeah.
come see you and kind of, cheer you on.
Yeah.
And she said, but you really should do one. Here's a guy that I worked with that was my coach. Call him. Okay,
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom.
okay. And I called him, right? I called him and he said, this is what I do and this is how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he essentially said, "I train people." And okay, I'll take the training.
Mm-hmm.
And he offered up like different all the different places where you could actually do a TED Talk. And he said, "We'll give you access to people and we'll show you how to pitch your talk and all that." Well, during the course of the training, he offered me an opportunity to be a part of his next round of TED Talks because he was a presenter. He said, "Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like for you to come. You can come speak in our health and wellness salon." Boom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it just
And it
and,
and it happens that quickly and clearly that there's no question in your mind what it is.
and,
That
it, and, it, and
you
I wasn't
could
doing
have
stuff
planned
to
that
make
out and
it.
orchestrated that on your own if you had written
No.
down on a
Mm-mm,
piece of paper and a
mm-mm,
pencil and said, okay, it's going to do like this and it's going
mm-mm.
to do like that. Which brings an important point up. When you ask the universe for something, you've got to be open to the possibilities because it may not come in the way that you think it's supposed to. May
Yes.
not look that way.
Yes.
You wanted to do public speaking. You hadn't necessarily thought, oh, I want to do a TED Talk. You wanted to be able to, other people were saying you should do a TED Talk based on what they
Mhm.
were hearing you talk about. But that wasn't necessarily, you wanted to do public speaking. That was your thing. You wanted to have that platform to be able to share your message with others.
Mhm.
Ended up being a TED Talk.
Right.
Ended up
Right.
being, that's the vehicle now that was presented to you. But you have to be open to what is, you got to ask and believe that it's going to come, but then be open to how it comes.
Yes, yes, yes. Be ready to receive it.
Be
Yeah,
ready to receive it and be
ready,
ready
be ready to receive it.
receive it in the way that it comes. And say, oh, it didn't look like that. You know, I thought it was going to be like that. No, no, it is what it is. Because, we've always experienced that thing where, um, back in the day, your grandmother and your mom and stuff, I say, my mind told me to go over here. My mind told me that's what all of this is.
Right.
It's that
Yeah.
directional compass that's inside of you that sometimes we sort of poo poo and ignore because we don't get it. We don't understand it
Mhm.
necessarily. And as human beings, we want to see the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Right.
Like
Right.
this, and then I'm gonna go over here, and then this is gonna happen. Da, 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 da. And when it's not working out that way, you're thinking, "Oh, this isn't right." And
Right.
your mind tells you to do something, and you push it aside.
Hmm.
No, because it's supposed to be over here, and I was supposed to do this, and da, da, da.
Hmm.
Then's when get misdirection.
Oh, look at this!
Hey,
You just.
Naomi.
Oh, you see the comment? Oh, great, great.
Yes, yes, she has it as a screenshot, which is excellent,
It's a-
which is an excellent point because when you create your vision board, the idea is to have it become part of your daily experience. Right?
Yes.
Don't just make it and stick it in a corner somewhere. You
Yes.
need to have it because the intentionality comes when you focus on that thing.
Yeah.
Some people have told me they have theirs in the bathroom because that's where they spend some of their most.
Yes. Yes. And so, that's speaking of having it in the bathroom. I'm glad you pointed that out because in my mind, I see vision boards and affirmations working hand in hand.
Oh, absolutely.
That
Hmm.
that you can have, and the thing about the affirmations that so many people miss is that you have to repeat them, right, over
Hmm.
and over and over. They have to, like you said, become a part of you, and we have to have the patience for for things to germinate, for things
Absolutely.
to develop. And that vision board is your screensaver on your laptop, on your phone, in the bathroom, in your kitchen, everywhere, everywhere that you are, where you can see, where you can keep it top of mind, right, where you
Top
can
of mind. Top of
keep
mind.
it
That's
top of
very
mind,
important.
that
And you
this.
also have to learn to redirect because those negative thoughts, because sometimes we, as human beings, we want this and we want it by this time.
Mm-hmm.
So we set a deadline as to when it's going to happen, not
Mm-hmm.
recognizing that that time may not be the right time for us.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be open to the timing that is the best for you, not what you think is the best for you.
Right.
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 And
Right.
so sometimes keeping those things in front of you, if it's not happening right away, just believe that it will. Continue to believe that it will, because that will drive the behavior and that will give you those thoughts in your head said, go left today.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but my mind said go left today. Well, what happened when I went left today? Let me tell you a story of something that recently happened, and I'm gonna point out something on my vision board. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Hope you guys can
Okay.
see that.
We can see it.
Do you
Mm-hmm.
see nonprofit?
Hmm.
Nonprofit right here.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Nonprofit. That's one of my goals. I want us
Mm-hmm.
to form a nonprofit to be able to help support women who are, have entrepreneurial pursuits and want to go from their product at the kitchen table all the way to the shelves at Target and
Mm-hmm.
Walmart and every other place that they can have their
Mm-hmm.
product. But that's a path that needs to be taken. So I want to start a nonprofit to be able to start doing those types of things because I've always, mentored and I've
Mm-hmm.
always coached people, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to formalize a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So out of the blue, all of a sudden, one day I got a call from someone who I knew years ago. She had retired, wonderful person. We had not even spoken for years after she retired. 2 days after January 1st, after I did my board, she sends me a text message. Hey, for some reason you popped in my mind and I wanted to just say hi, happy new year to you. So I said, oh, well, how you doing? We had a little chit chat and we decided to talk. Come to find out that her organization and my organization in are complete alignment because I'm trying to help women to get their products seen. She has
Mm-hmm.
an organization that has a platform for women's products to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
The likelihood that I would have even remembered or thought to call her, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Because when she retired, she wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yes.
She was doing something completely
Yeah.
different. But I put that thing on my board and I was intentional. I want to do this. I want to be put in front of other people who can help me down this path. And within 2 days, I got the call from her. Just she said, "I don't even know why I called you." I was continuing to call somebody else, and
Right.
it was your name.
Yes.
That was amazing. So I believe that those are the things that happen when we have an intentionality about it. I want
Mm-hmm.
to do this, and you start moving in the direction of doing that thing, learning about it, reading about it, talking to other people who are doing that thing or have that thing. Say it's a car that you want, right? Certain type of car, certain type of go to the car dealership, get in that car,
Yeah.
take it for a test drive. Don't have the thoughts of, oh, I could never, oh, it will never happen, those types of things. Because do those things that allow you to see
Yes.
yourself in that position, see yourself in that job, see yourself on that vacation. Be
Mm-hmm.
intentional about it and
Mm-hmm.
start to drive your thoughts in that way and bring
Yes.
about the things that you're thinking about.
Yes. I mean that is so beautiful. I mean, it really is because our brain grabs onto those things, right? Our
Mhm.
brain our brain grabs onto those things. Our brain wants us to have those things. Oh,
Mhm.
oh, oh, here's a
How
question.
often? How
Do you
often?
change your vision board? Oh,
As things happen for you.
that's a great
Sometimes,
question.
like some people adhere to the Franklin Covey system. It was like a system of organization. So you make a
Mhm.
list of things that you want to do and so forth. And the process for the Franklin Covey system is that as you do those things, you then transfer the things you didn't do to the next day.
Mhm.
You check off the things you did today, and you transfer those other things you did not do to the next day. Similar to
Mhm.
a vision board. If
Mhm.
something is has happened for you, when I wanted to start my business, I wrote out a check of the amount of money that I thought it was going to take me to start my business. I made a fake check and I wrote it out and da da da, and I stuck it on my vision board. When that money came in, I was able to take that off the board and I put something else on that board.
Mhm.
So you're appreciative of it. You're thankful for being given that thing, and you start and that's where the gratitude, like you're talking about, setting
Mhm.
your intention, but also being grateful for those things.
Mhm.
All of that stuff changes your whole body chemistry.
Yes.
I
Yes.
I have a really dear friend, love her dearly. We've known each other since high school days. And she would say something. She may say phrases like, "Ah, I told him I don't know how to do that. I'm just pretty. I'm just pretty." No, 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 no. You're more than just pretty. Yes, you are pretty, but you're smart.
Mhm.
You're interesting. You're all of these things. You're not. Oh, well, I'm just pretty. So that makes an excuse. Well, I don't have to learn how to do this. Or I
Mhm.
don't have to
Mhm.
understand how to do that because I'm just pretty.
Mhm.
And if that's what you say,
Mhm.
then you'll never learn anything new.
Right.
Never do
Right.
anything because your mind is saying, "Well, you don't need to do that because you're just pretty."
Right. Right.
Well,
Right.
how far is that gonna get you?
Right. Yeah. Right. A very good, very good, very good point. And that what I like about this question from Miranda is that it does bring up the point that we are in process, and
Mhm.
that speaks to your answer of once you get it, take it off. You don't take it off and leave that space empty. You've got something else
Do it.
to put something on there.
Do it.
And also you can create your vision board, and 2 weeks later, a day later, or sometime later, think, oh, you know what, I think I want to add this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I want to add this. So
So yeah, and let's talk about the process for a second for those who may
okay.
be online who don't really understand what the
Mhm.
process is. So we talked about the reason behind it and how it sort of all works as far as your thinking and your processing internally, and then having a visual manifestation or a visual depiction
Yes.
of that thing and how it all connects. But some people do vision boards very differently. I just flip through magazines. If you have old magazines, you flip through and find something that represents that thing that you want or the experience you want to have and those types of things. Some people do boards that are specific to a category. So they may do a travel board. So they want to go to Europe and they want to go to Africa and they want to go to Hawaii. So all these things are on that board that's
Mhm.
just about travel. Somebody else may just want to do a board about, education or something that they want to learn or whatever. Some people's boards are all inclusive. Mine is an all inclusive board.
Mhm.
Each year, This is a brand new board because everything I'm trying to get it here. Okay. A brand new board because there are things that I've been able to accomplish. So I made a new board. For me
Mm-hmm.
now, it's the nonprofit. You know, I want to be more intentional about my friends, the people who I spend my time with, and being supportive. Because again, my nonprofit is about women supporting each other,
Yes,
helping
yes,
to
yes.
move in the right direction. So it's about that. I'm always struggling with finding enough time and balance for myself,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one of the things we always struggle with. So
Mm-hmm.
right up here in this corner, I have this, she's chilling out over here. So it's just a reminder for me to
Mm-hmm.
be specific about and intentional about that. And the spa thing and all of that. And then the other one that's the most interesting one for me is to remind myself. Here it says count it all joy. So that's
Yes,
to remind myself to be appreciative because a lot of times we'll have something happen to us and you don't take the time to relish in it. You don't take the time to celebrate it. You just move on to the next thing.
right, right. Yes,
You want, oh, I got something else to do. Let me just
yes,
go do that. So you
yes,
want to be able to really take the time
yes.
to revel in it, relish it, be appreciative of it, be
Mm-hmm.
thankful for it, make your list of things that you're thankful for, and move on from there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, as I'm looking at your vision board, I also want to point out when I do my vision board is I don't do it on a board like that. I actually do it online. And
Okay.
things
Okay.
somebody was talking about
Yeah.
using as a screensaver is
Mhm.
that the first thing I do is I make my list, right? I make my list of what it is that I want to accomplish. And then right now I'm in this health space.
Mhm.
And so I make my list. And then once I make my list, then I go online and I just Google the pictures. I Google,
Okay. Okay.
I Google the pictures that I'm looking for
Mhm.
that are representative of it. And even though I've done the TED Talk, I'm looking to do more speaking. All right.
Mhm.
I'm Googling and getting pictures of microphones and stages and people looking all happy because they just
They did their own TED talk.
and you can just you can put those pictures in a PowerPoint
Yeah.
and it becomes something that you can access pretty quickly
Mhm.
once you get the list. So
Mhm.
to your point, I mean, you can have a vision board that speaks to really every area of your life.
Every area.
Yeah, it can be a vision board for your house,
Yeah. Mhm.
right? For your external surroundings, for your health, right? For your job, for your education, for your family. I one of the very best vision boards I have ever seen um, was a vacation vision board.
Mhm.
And where was I? I was in on Los Cabos, and
Okay.
um, my friend and I went and we sat through one of those timeshare things.
Okay.
Whatever you go,
Yeah.
you're right.
Oh.
But the sales, but you could really see that the guy that was the salesperson, he was that selling those timeshares. He was in his zone. He loved to travel, right? He
Okay.
loved it. And during the course of the conversation, he pulled out his vision boards from the different places
Wow.
that he wanted to travel and had traveled as a
Mhm.
result of that job. So he's like taking full advantage of it, right? I'm in Los Cabos, but I want to go to Morocco, and he had the markets, he had all the pictures, and it was brilliant,
Mhm.
brilliant.
Mhm.
So, but the thing that really struck me about him and his vision boards, and this is on for achieving any goal because the vision board is a goal achieving tool,
Yep.
goal achieving tool, is that it was the passion with which he spoke about his pictures and what he wanted to
His
do.
intentionality, and then we go back to that word being
Yes, you have.
intentional about his desire to travel to those
Yep.
places. Now, wouldn't it be nice one day if the other thing is we have to think about the power of our own words. Just like I
Mm-hmm.
talked before about, oh, I'm just pretty, or oh, I could never, or I'm not smart, or I. you're telling yourself those things. Why can't
Mhm.
you say, I'm smart,
Mhm.
I'm interesting, I'm
Mhm.
worthy,
Mhm.
I have a lot to offer this world.
Mhm.
I'm valuable because I am.
Mhm.
Just because I am, not because of what I can give to somebody else or what. I am valuable and I'm worthy because I exist.
And I
And
deserve everything on my vision board.
absolutely, absolutely, and even more. Got two, three,
And
four,
more.
5 vision boards. I deserve all of that and more. But
Right.
if you don't think that you do, and sometimes it's hard to kind of pull yourself out of that place. But the more that you do it, trust me on this, and I know Michelle say the same thing. Trust me, the more that you do it, the easier it becomes, and the more real it becomes.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I'll tell you another story. COVID had hit, and I remember I was standing in this very shop. I'm here in my boutique today, very shop. When they made the call, everybody got to shut down. So I was like, what am I going to do? And I had never, somebody said, oh, maybe you could start selling online. No, that's not me. I'm a behind the scenes kind of girl. But again, don't ask the universe
Mhm.
and then say no.
Mhm.
It was presented to me. Someone showed me how to do it. Somebody said, I will walk you just through how to do this, all the
Mhm.
little cards, all the welcomes. And the first night I did it, it was a horrible mess because I was, holding up the thing wrong and the numbers were all upside down. Everything was terrible, but I had no choice. And I asked, what do I do to still
Mhm.
be able to connect with my customers, to still be able to sell product in this environment that we're in? What am I
Mhm.
going to do? So I
Mhm.
put it out there and it just fell in my lap. Somebody said, I'll show you how to do it. I will show you where to get the stuff from. I'll teach you how to do it. And
Mhm.
they taught me. And that first Thursday night, it was awful. And it was the worst thing, but I did it again the next Thursday night and people started logging on and people started shopping. And before I know it, I had the whole Shimmy Shopping network going on. And I did like 40 some shows that carried me through that really terrible year that we all
Wow.
experienced. But it was something that I did not even know what I was going to do. I just said, I need to make some revenue so I
Right.
can pay my rent on my store.
Right.
Everybody was talking about, getting help and all of this. It wasn't quickly, as some of us know, it wasn't coming as quickly
Mhm.
as we would have
Mhm.
liked. And so I still had to figure out what to do
Mhm.
because I still had responsibilities. But that was something that I didn't know what it was going to be. And it was dropped in my lap, and I allowed myself to be open to it. Said, okay, well, I'll try it. And
Mhm.
and you just never know how it's going to resonate with someone else because once the doors open back up, someone came in the store with a regular customer, and it was a friend of hers, and she said, oh, I'm here from Florida, whatever. And so the one woman who's my customer went in the dressing room and trying on some things, and she said, I just want to tell you that you saved me during COVID because I was by myself down in Florida. I couldn't go anywhere, and my friend told me about your show, and every single Thursday I would tune in and watch you.
Oh,
And know that
wow.
you were my,
Wow.
every time,
Yeah.
every time
Yeah.
I hear
Yeah.
that or
Yeah.
even speak it, because you just never know how you can impact someone else's life in
Mhm.
a positive way. Here I am
Mhm.
dropping numbers on the floor. Oh, tonight we have 3 items. Here's a beautiful pair of earrings, and
But like, literally, you make in that story. I mean, there's so many nuggets in this story, but the thing that really resonates with me is that I look at you now, and I've been to the store, as you know, and I've seen you, and the store is beautiful. You're beautiful. Your presentation is beautiful, but from what you're saying now, it didn't start off like that.
oh no, oh no,
And
no, no.
the point that you're making that I want to really just focus on is that in order to get to the beautiful state, you got to be willing to go through the ugly cry part, right? You got to be willing to do the work
Mm-hmm.
on the front end that
Yeah.
gets you to where you are, which is you're at the skill level, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you're at skill and mastery,
Yeah.
then it becomes fun.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to stop because I see we have a comment here from Ashley. Thank you, Ashley. Specifying what we mean by intentionality is critical. Two people can say, I love you, but it may not mean the same thing at all.
Okay.
Wonderful point.
Say that again for the
Wonderful,
people in the balcony, honey.
but
Say
one
that
wonderful
again.
point.
Yes.
And that thing about specifying what we mean
Hmm.
is real clear as we talk about um, laying out the steps. Laying out the steps. How do you get from point A to point B to point C to point D to where you finally want to your final destination? So that helps clarify it. That helps keep it from being confusing, right? That and when you break it down in the bite-sized steps, it keeps you on the path.
Yeah, and you don't want it to be just an activity. I got a pair of scissors. I'm flipping through a magazine. Oh, that's a pretty flower. Let me cut that out. Oh, that's no. The reason I chose the pictures that I did and the images I did is because I felt connected to them in some way. Because you
Mhm,
can see a lot of pictures of a woman laying on a beach, but when
mhm,
I hit that particular picture on that particular page, there was something about it that I connected with for whatever the reason, big or small. So when
mhm,
you do it in that way and you start the process from even just selecting the images, and you everybody's process can be different. Yours is you make a list first, then you go to the internet and you find them. My process, I go through magazines because just you know when I used to get and a lot of women do this, when I used to get stressed out at work, one of my things was, I'm a Marshalls girl and a Ross girl, so I would go into the Marshalls and just let's blindly go through the racks, just that would just somehow clear my head.
mhm,
So, sometimes it's the activity itself. So me going through a magazine, somehow that just relaxes me. Other
mhm,
people may not feel that somewhere. So it's
mhm,
relaxing to me. And as I let my spirit look at each page, I run my hand
mhm.
across the page, I just look at it and I close my eyes and I think, different things and how that I could see myself in that place or whatever. So every picture is not going to resonate, every image, but it's all part of the entire process, looking at the
Mhm.
whole thing together, not just, okay, you cut out some pictures and then you paste them on the board. Anybody can do that. It's the behind the scenes. Like we all remember the Wizard of Oz. And
Mhm.
Dorothy goes into finally finds the Emerald City, and she finally, I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna get home. And then she goes in the and this little tiny man is pulling some strings, and it's like, that's it.
Mhm.
That,
Right,
and
right.
so the thought, the thing was that it was all inside of you all along. You were looking
Yes,
at this external thing to make you happy, this external um, experience that you thought you were supposed to have, but it was always in you. And that's the whole thing about the vision boarding. It's in there.
yes,
It's
yes,
in there, and you right. You
yes.
got to bring it forward, bring it up, let it bubble up from the surface, even if it's a little bit dicey and painful, and you're not sure.
Mhm,
But that's
mhm.
what life is about, sometimes being unsure.
That's right.
Let me tell you, I remember we've done the live thing before, and some of my friends who've done the live stuff, we call it the gremlin. You
Right,
could
right,
practice
right,
100,000 times. As soon as you say, okay, and we're live.
right.
Hello, hello.
That is so true. That is so
One
true.
time I was doing my show live and I had these cards that I hold. And so I'm talking, I'm explaining an item, and I'm reaching down beside me to pick up the next card, and the card fell on the ground. And I looked to the side. It's live. You can't.
Right,
I was like, okay,
right.
we're gonna go to a commercial. You're live.
It-
And so I'm still trying to talk it through. I'm holding this in one hand. I'm trying to find the card. I looked down, all the cards had fallen on the ground. They were all out of order. Now, listen,
they were all
you
gone.
want something, just say, I like that.
Well, that's real.
That's
And
real.
that's real. That's real.
Absolutely.
Look, we have a very nice compliment from Eloise.
Eloise.
Great show. I love it. Thank you
Oh,
so.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. I'm
Eloise.
so
Right.
I'm so sad that I can't see people's faces. I love to see faces,
Yes,
and I love to
yes,
engage a
yes,
little bit more. That's one of the drawbacks of doing certain types of platforms and stuff. But I'm glad that everybody's commenting, people who are commenting. We
yes, yes,
appreciate
yes.
that because it
It is.
lets us know. I'd like to hear some questions if anybody has questions, or like their own experience if they've done the vision boarding,
Oh,
and
yes,
how to be
yes,
helpful, because that's
yes,
always
yes.
great
We'll
to
be,
share with
we'll be
others what
open to
we
that.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll definitely be open to that.
When
Um,
that, yeah.
so I want to go back to where you were talking about earlier about, let me just put a picture on here. Let me find a picture. I mean, just that the this whole process, the work, the what we're putting into the vision board, it is about purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It is about passion,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is about focus, and it is about the way I see it, that this is a tool, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a tool to help us achieve, right, our goals and our
Mm-hmm.
aspirations more easily. Because
Yes.
that's not to say that some of some things can't happen, and you just like power. I'll just power through them. But if we kind of figure out things, how to engage our subconscious mind, because this is what this work is about. It is about engaging our subconscious mind to help bring things forth that we want to happen. And one of the things that I would suggest about your vision board, looking at it and working on it, and one reason why I really like to do coaching at night is that it is an opportunity for your mind to work harder on the thing that you want to achieve without you consciously trying to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you write, it's a difference between if you write your goals tonight for what you want to do tomorrow. If you write them tonight,
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do tomorrow, when you go to sleep, while you are sleeping, your mind, your brain, your energy is working for you to make those things happen for you
Right.
tomorrow.
Right.
And you have all that extra 8 hours, because we get our 8 hours of sleep. You're getting
Yep.
all that extra eight hours for those things to manifest. Whereas if you do your to-do list in the morning, first thing I get up in the morning, I do my to-do list. You have lost the 8 hours that you could have gotten the night before if you had done it the night before
But
without
here's the thing
any
too, if
work on
you write the list out at night, and when you write the list out at night, don't just scribble it down. And I'm working on this myself. That's my little relaxed word. What I sometimes do is I gotta get off that thing. I gotta stop with that.
it.
You know, put it down at least 45 minutes. My goal is to shut it off an hour before I'm going to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And if you spend those last moments before you drift off reading through your list, just reading, these are the things I want to do, not in not no particular order. Your mind has an opportunity, as you said, to work on it overnight. So when you get up in the morning, it has been sorted through. So that list will be so easy, and the priorities will happen in the way that they're supposed to, because the mind has already
Yes,
worked through everything that needs to take place
yes,
while
yes,
you're sleeping. While
yes,
you're sleeping, yes. We have
yes,
a
yes,
powerful, powerful thing between these two ears. It is our brain.
yeah.
And we only tap into, I don't know what the scientists say, we only tap into just a small percentage of the power that we have in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to do that a little bit more and get off those cell phones and get off the TikToks and the what's not it's not even TikTok anymore. What is it called? Something, whatever it is.
Oh,
X.
wait a minute, it's not called TikTok anymore.
I think is TikTok gone?
No,
Something's
no,
gone.
it's Twitter.
Twitter? Twitter?
It's Twitter that is now
Okay,
called X.
okay. Twitter's something else. But whatever it is, get off of it. An hour before you go to bed, so you can begin, looking at your board, thinking, because whatever the thoughts are right before you go to sleep, that's going to permeate your subconscious at night.
Mm-hmm.
So why not have your visions from your board?
Yes.
Why not have, the positivity, repeating those affirmations, saying, I am beautiful, I am worthy, I cannot wait to enjoy these things. I can see myself doing it. It's going to be wonderful. And drifting off into that, letting it bathe and wash
Yes.
over you and then you become that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Overnight, no.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a process. Everything is a process. We didn't learn to ride a bike overnight. We didn't learn to, walk overnight. Everything is a process.
Yes.
So it can be done. We just have to be intentional about doing it.
And you know what, Lena? It does happen overnight, but it happens over Many
several
nights.
nights. It happens during the night, but over several nights.
It happens over many
Absolutely,
nights.
it does.
But
It
that
does.
but
It does.
that but that piece right there, the notion of being patient
Mm-hmm.
is something that I certainly have to work on. And one of the things that a tool that I use, with people that I coach and even with my own self is just this power of 52.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 52 weeks in a year. And
Mm-hmm.
so whatever this one thing is right now, if we're doing it consistently over time for
Mm-hmm.
a year from now we'll have 52 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it was like a challenge for me, when I started doing the videos, right? And I was like, oh my God, I got to do these videos. I got to do these videos. And then I just started to think about one video a week a year from now is 52 of
52.
them.
Very significant amount, yes.
It's a significant amount. But
Mhm.
if you sit down and you start thinking, I've got to do 52 videos. I just want to take a nap. But one a week, one a week
Mhm.
of anything is compounded,
And
right?
it makes it more digestible, and there's that saying, it's an ancient saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Mm-hmm.
One bite at a time. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
oh my, if you look at this huge monumental thing that you have to overcome, of course it's overwhelming. Of course
Mm-hmm.
it's scary. Of course you
Mm-hmm.
want to put your head under the covers and not come back out. But if somebody just handed you a little piece, oh, I can eat that.
Right.
Okay, another little piece. Oh, I can do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, you're looking, it's like, wow. I mean, before I knew it, I had 30 some episodes of my live show that were in the can.
Mm-hmm.
um, it carried me through. It carried me through
Mm-hmm.
COVID and allowed me to have the revenue that I needed to keep my store open.
Yes.
So,
That's the goal right there. Right. Right.
right. At the
That-
beginning, it was, I don't know what to say, and hi, welcome to the show. But trust yourself, trust the people around you who love and care for you, and that's the
Mhm.
other thing. That's very, very important. Be mindful of who you surround yourself with. Be very
Ooh.
mindful and conscious of that,
Yeah.
because everybody wants to ride in your car, but let that car run out of gas. Who's going to help you push? Right?
Ooh.
Okay. Who's the one that's going to help you push that?
You just said a mouthful right there.
Exactly. So you have to really be, and everybody, new year, new you, blah, 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 but part of what we have to do is a purge. If
Hmm.
people are not supporting you in the way that you need to be supported,
Hmm.
and that may be a limitation that they have, maybe they can't support you in that way. So it's
Hmm.
not saying to fault them or blame them, but if they
Hmm.
can't give that to you in that way, you have to figure out where they fit in your life.
So Gunnar, with you speaking about that, do you envision a vision board of people, like a vision board of people? And the reason I even
Yes,
The reason
yes.
I even asked that question is that, earlier off camera, we were talking about my nephew. And
Hmm.
one of the things that he does, and I have such respect for him for this, is that years ago, when he was a teenager, he recognized some shyness about himself.
Okay.
He
Hmm.
said, I decided that I was going to meet one new person a day,
Oh, wow.
talk to one new person a day. And
Hmm.
now, in over the years, he has upped it to 5 people a day.
5 people a day.
5 people.
Wow.
Five, well, I mean, he's in a pretty social industry, so he can
Okay.
do
Okay.
it. But he did tell me about one day when he hadn't met his 5 people, and it was getting toward the end of the day, and he
Hmm.
started to panic a little bit. But my question about that is that, we hear so often that your net worth is tied to your network.
Hmm.
And our network is certainly,
Hmm.
the people that we know and the people that know us. How about that? The people that know
Hmm.
us. Um, and as we think about the goals that we want to achieve, and we think about, I don't know, tools like LinkedIn, right? Who knows you, and
Mm-hmm.
who else do they know?
Mm-hmm.
And even as you're moving along to achieve your goals, who in your life, in your sphere, your tribe, whatever you want to call them, it is going to help you get there, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And those that might not be the biggest help in the world,
Right.
and,
And
or
notice you have
even some people that you don't know that could help you. Could you put them on your vision board? Could you do a
right.
vision board of?
Yeah, because you don't necessarily want to toss people to the side. I mean, maybe there's that person that you went to elementary school together and you still, okay, but you got to figure out where they fit. The Dunbar principle states that over the course of your life, there's only a certain number of people that you really have certain connections with. You might meet, I think it's 150 over the course of your life, right?
Mhm.
And there's, inner circle, and then the circle gets wider and wider and wider. Who do you really want as that core? Who do you
Mhm.
want there? Who do you want in the outer circle? And as the rings go out, who belongs way out there in the edge? You, you see him once a year. Hey girl, how you doing? I'm good. How you? Okay, I'm good. That's the extent of your conversation. And there's no depth and that's okay. Because if what we really want to do is achieve certain things and make progress in our lives,
Mhm.
to your point about the 52, do you want to get to the end of that 52 and you still have that one because people were naysaying and, oh, you don't really want to do that? Come go do this with me instead. Let it be about what I want to do, not what you want to do. All those things. And then you look up and it's December 31st and okay, let me make another resolution that was that I did from the year before that. So
Mhm.
it's intentional, and it's hard for women, I know, because we take care of everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody else has a need, may have a kids, a spouse, a significant other, whatever. But it's important, and you have to value yourself enough to really make a commitment to that.
Oh, I love that. Value
Value
yourself
yourself.
enough. Yeah,
Mm,
value yourself enough, and that is, that's a lesson. That's a lesson really about valuing ourselves, but also getting connected to ourselves. And
mhm,
when we do that, then we can more. This is this word that's thrown around a lot. Authentic.
mhm,
We can more authentically show up for other people and value other people, right?
mhm, mhm.
And be connected to other people when we first are value and connected to ourselves.
Yeah.
That that's that's some work right there.
Yeah.
That is some work right there. Oh my God, Glenda, we are winding down to
Is it
the.
what? Did we
Yes,
just start?
yeah. We're we're,
How is
we're,
that
we're running
possible?
we're running out of time, and before we run out of time, I do want you to just let everybody know how they can get in touch with you. Do your final,
Do my little final pitch.
your final shameless plug.
The name of my boutique is Shimmy Sister. You can follow me on Instagram at Shimmy Sister. The spelling is right up here. Or you can also reach out to me. Just go to my website and you can just send me a message. I will get the messages. If you want to reach out to me about shopping or vision boarding, or you need assistance with your business or any of those types of things. So you'll soon be hearing from me too, because I'm going to be starting my nonprofit. And I will.
And your pop-up and your pop-up stuff.
Yes, yes, yes. My pop up. Yep, I'm doing. That's another thing I'm doing to help women understanding how to. You got a lot of people started businesses and started making products to help themselves during the COVID. Like, okay, I learned how to make candles, sugar scrubs, whatever it is, and now your family's tired of your sugar scrubs. They love you. They don't want no more. They want them for Christmas. Don't want them for Mother's Day. Don't want them for my birthday. I got enough. Thank you. Now what do I do? I want to, because that's how I started my business, as a pop up. And now it's, I have two locations now. So, I want to teach women how to do that, how to take your idea from, the infancy stage all the way through how to do pop ups, get them store, and on down the line. So, shimmysister.com, reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you.
And you, my friend, gonna sound like a woman with a vision. A woman with a vision.
And I know you speak to it. It feels so satisfying when you have an intentionality, but I can't help but use that continual word because when every day when you wake up, you wake up knowing, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get this done, and all those things are working out in the back of your mind. That stuff that's on your vision board. You set your thoughts. You drive those things drive your thoughts, and your thoughts and your drive your behavior that leads you to the things that you want to do. But it's just so, some people get up and like, oh, I guess I'll just go to work, and I guess, and things just sort of happen to them
Mm-hmm.
instead of them making things happen for themselves.
Yes.
Things just happen. It's just, okay,
Yeah.
well, I don't know, but to have a process and an intentionality allows you to have a little bit more control over the things that are happening and how,
Love it. Love it. Love
right?
it. Love it. Love it. Love it, Glenna, so much as always. Make it happen for yourself. Make it happen for yourself. I think that that's the parting thought. That's what I got. That this is the vision board, your vision board 2024 will allow you to make it
Happen
happen
for yourself.
for yourself.
Yep.
And with that, I want to say thank you, Glenna. I want to thank you for watching. We will see you next month in February. We have a great show coming up for you in February. Can't wait to see you the third Wednesday. The third Wednesday of February at 7, yes, 3, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be here for Get the Backstory Live. I'm Michelle Pettis, your host, and I'm hosting you from Houston, Texas.
Houston,
Because
Texas.
tomorrow, I thought I was signing off, but I'm not just yet. Tomorrow, if you're in the Houston area, come check me out. I am going to be speaking at the National Association of Women Business Owners because I'm a speaker now. Anybody need a
Yes,
speaker?
yes, you work it.
You
You
know how to
work
get
it.
me. Michelle at michellepettis.com. We're at the Norris Center. This conference tomorrow is going to be on fire. My topic, I am talking about your power is in the possible. Your
Wow.
power is in the possible. That's what we're going to be talking about. Come check us out. If you're in Houston, you know somebody in Houston, tell them to come. And with that, we'll say good night and
Good night, everyone.
we'll
Thank you
see you
so much
next
for your
week.
attention. Get out there and get those boards, set those intentions, and make it happen for yourself.
Make it happen for yourself. Good night.
What does it mean to get the backstory? It means asking the hard questions and getting to the heart of what matters about your mental, spiritual, financial, and physical well being. In my quest to find wholeness, wellness, and end the 40 years of obesity that ravaged my body, I found that it was my own stories that were keeping me trapped in processed food addiction. Once I started asking the right questions, those same stories led to brand new consciousness, mindfulness, and agency. Each month on Get the Backstory Live, we take on the tough questions so you can find the healing, hope, and transformation hidden in your story.
Great show.
There we go.
Great show.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes. Thank you, Glenna. I'm glad you stayed on. Thank
Ah,
you so much, Glenna. You on fire tonight, girl.
that was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Like I
Excellent.
Yeah,
said, the part that's downside for me is that I can't see everybody and
Yeah.
poke at people and stuff, but it's okay.
tonight, Michelle, you had 2,461 people.
Oh, wow.
2,400?
61 people. Yeah, watching in.
Wow.
Really?
I keep telling Michelle if she did this weekly, she'd have close to 100,000. A lot of my shows are on weekly, get 100 to 250,000 people tuning in. I have one of the biggest radio stations on the East Coast.
Wow. I'm wait, all of a sudden my hands get clammy. How many people? Sometimes ignorance is bliss. Like,
last night, a weekly show called Sounds of the Diaspora comes from St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands on my station. They had 124,000 people tuning in. Now, that's only on my station. I'm part of the BBC, and I go through 11,000 affiliates. And I don't even know how many affiliates pick up my show and watch it, but it could be thousands and thousands more. I just know who clicks on my station during a 1 hour period.
that is very cool.
That's pretty juicy. Yeah, Mel, I'm working on it. I'll get there.
So wait, how many? Tell me again. So my throat is dry now. 2,000, 200. What was it?
2,400.
Yeah, and
61.
61. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And there's that.
And,
Well, you know what?
we got comments tonight. So that's pretty cool that we got the comments.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is awesome. You never know who needs to hear what you have to say.
Right.
So.
True.
Yeah. Well, it was a good show.
Thank you, Mel.
I'll let you know.
Thank you, Glenna.
My pleasure. Be safe down there.
Okay.
And
All
good
right,
luck
guys.
tomorrow. I hope everything goes well for you.
Thank you. I got to go practice now.
Great to meet you, Mel.
Okay. Nice meeting you too. You should have a show on my station too.
We have to talk about that. Seriously, we have to talk about that. Yeah.
You should.
Something entrepreneurial. That's my thing. So yeah, I'll get your information from Michelle. We can chat.
Yeah, I usually get 160,000 people a week from the DMV.
Really?
Yeah, per week, not per day, not per night, but per week.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about that. I would love to. Hey, see, already the vision board. Look, already.
It's kicking in.
There you go.
It's kicking in.
It's already working. So yeah.
Okay, everybody, take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.